So we are going to be checking out Oni Dokkan. His video is called The Massive Rise and Devastating Fall of Dokkan Battle YouTube. This man is a student of the game, hitting the right notes with that title scheme. All right, let's do it. Let's check it out. Let's get it.
Ah yes, nostalgia. As you get older and as time moves forward, you start looking back at the past, longing for something that you felt before. You can call me an old head all you like, but I genuinely think 2016 through 2019 was by far one of the best eras for Dokkan Battle content creators. Even content creators like Afro Sinju
Oh my
on the
God.
Dokkan Battle bandwagon.
Let's go, Gina.
First of all, he's a Lakers fan, so let's go. Secondly, what? Since when? He started out as a Dokkan guy? I didn't know that. Wow. Dude, we got a lot of the big boys starting from Dokkan. I didn't know that.
Content creators like Afro Sinju hopped on the Dokkan Battle bandwagon.
Let's go, Gina.
It was an absolute crazy time for Dokkan Battle YouTube.
Dude,
Why was
let's
it kinda
go,
simple,
man.
though? Well, if you clicked on this video, you're probably wondering that too.
Living Michigan was the first Dokkaner I saw. Ichigo? Yeah. I didn't watch it. My first Dokkan tuber that I ever saw was Havohai. Very first.
Content on YouTube. When you think about who the grandfather of Dokkan content is, 4 creators come to mind. Nanogenics, Rhyme Style, D-Free, and The Living Ichigo. All of these YouTubers have played a massive part in how Dokkan content is constructed today. But without a shadow of a doubt, there is one YouTuber throughout this list who has put Dokkan Battle on the map. That creator being none other than Rhyme Style.
Yep.
All right, Appel Dokkan.
Yo,
who would
what's
you
up,
say
man?
the grandfather of Dokkan content is?
But if we're talking about who I actually like, who I think is one of like the most impactful ones, it's probably like Rhyme. Either Rhyme or Nano is one of.
Oh boy, Apple about to drop a
Is one
like
of
a
like the
track.
most
What is
impactful ones.
this?
It's probably like Rhyme.
All
Either
right.
Rhyme or Nano. It's one of the two.
Oh, we
Who
got
do you
everybody
think
in here.
The
Okay.
grandfather of Dokkan content is.
This is a big collab video.
Like
D1
the
is.
OG,
Yeah,
OG.
yeah, the D1.
Now this is crazy. It's Rhyme Style, I think.
It's very clear how big an influence Rhyme Style has had on the Dokkan Battle community. But who is he? And why is he looked at so fondly and regarded as one of the best to ever do it?
Bro,
anything you can
old
think of
school
in a
Rhyme Style,
person,
I'm not
YouTube
too familiar with
since
old
about
school Rhyme Style.
2011.
Because when I started, I was not familiar with Rhyme Style, Nano. I didn't know any of the big guys. Living Ichigo, Gaming Claw, Animated Muscle, none of them. I didn't know any of them. I started from like, I guess the next level of Dokkan tubers.
Who's the person who put Dokkan Battle on the map?
I mean, Rhyme is who would come to mind for me. It's
Rhyme.
Rhyme. It's like I know Rhyme has like moved away from Dokkan and stuff like that, but judging by everything I saw at the time and stuff like that, it feels like he was definitely the grandfather of this kind of like community. I think so. Rhyme for sure.
It may be a little bit biased, but I had 3 creators that I watched consistently, and that was Omega Pro, D-Free,
Wait, what?
and Rhyme. And so
Omega
I think in
Pro
terms
did
of who
Dokkan
had the
too?
most
Cinna played Dokkan? Dude, how many people played Dokkan that I didn't know about?
I've been playing Dokkan since 7 months of global. So I think Gogeta had already happened on JP at that time frame. But when I started watching, it was the same time frame. I got into it and I was like, oh, let me watch some YouTube videos on it. And I got hooked immediately. I think Rhyme 100%. And then I don't know if D-Free was, I think he was back then one of the also first ones as well. Living Ichigo, I remember him. He did make a lot of content. And D-Monty. I think those 4 a lot were like the huge ones. And then I think a little bit more like, I think probably around the same time frame, Nano came out, and then Nano and Rhyme started doing the collab.
Oh wow, Nano was after.
Great era.
And just like that, the Dokkan
Monty?
Battle community was
I
born.
thought Nano was one of the
Plenty
OGs.
other creators coming into the scene to provide
Like
content
super
for the
OGs.
viewers interested in the game. And while there are many other creators who started even before Rhyme, it would be insane for me not to at least mention one other creator who helped foster this community, the Living Ichigo.
I think really the first person that was
Alex, let's
in
go.
terms of that was Living Ichigo. I mean, I remember one of the first.
Nano
videos
was
that I
phase
saw was
1.5.
The Dokkan Broly event, right? Like back in the day, that was like the hardest thing imaginable.
For me, how I started, you know, getting into, because originally when I first played Dokkan, I didn't like
Bro
it. I
called the
played it,
Dokkan
I
Avengers
dropped
for
it,
this video. That's
and then
awesome.
the person that pretty much got me into making videos of it was actually Living Ichigo.
Living Ichigo was uploading Dokkan Battle content before really any other Dokkan Battle YouTuber at the time, and doing it consistently, being one of the few creators to actually do multi-summons in their videos, and provide very informative content at the time. If you wanted fun and engaging content, while also being a little informed as to what was happening in the game, Rhyme Style's channel was the place to go. But if you generally just wanted more information on how the game works...
Okay, so Living Ichigo was the DaTruthDT
Ryan was
before
always the
DaTruth.
fun guy.
Yep.
He's doing it, you know, like I'm doing summons. I'm not, you know, he'll do a boss event. If he gets destroyed, he's like, oh, whatever, you know. He was having fun with it. I was trying to get super into the weeds with the game.
And for a while, this is how things were until around 2016. That's right, baby. The best era for Dokkan Battle content has finally arrived.
Bro, look at Riku. Wait. Yo, look at Riku. What? I know that he originally did Dokkan, but man, look at that stash, bro. Isn't animated muscle part of this OG crew? Yeah, and he's got the Blue Yeti mic too. Yeah. Man, I'm feeling bad watching this. I'm so unaware of any of this stuff.
Content so much more fun and engaging back then compared to what it is today. These events drove players crazy. So much, in fact, that Dokkan Battle YouTubers who knew a lot about the game were succeeding on the platform, building some of the most obscure teams by today's standards, just to be able to beat one event in particular.
Dude, look at that
event
team.
Being
That's
STR
insane.
Broly's. STR Broly's event was so difficult at the time, it genuinely made a lot of players quit the game, but it also made a lot of creators think outside the box with their team builds. That is until the release of STR Super Gogeta for the first year anniversary, a legendary release that destroyed the game at the time. And knowing how to build teams worked well in the favor of the content creators at the time. They needed to mix things up. This is where I'd like to introduce you guys to summon battles, a concept in which content creators would go head to head in trying their best to pull the new characters first.
These guys started
just
it.
like summon collabs nowadays, but with a more competitive twist to it. While some YouTubers at the time just
That's a lost start.
YouTubers like
The era of the
Rhymestyle
collabs.
had better plans with how the format worked, introducing YouTubers like D-Free and newer YouTubers like Nanogenics into their videos, leading to some of the most iconic clips this community has seen.
I smell a Super Saiyan 3 actually. I smell a Super Saiyan 3 on this one. I smell a Super Saiyan 3! I smell a Super Saiyan 3!
Dude, I haven't seen any of these videos. I'm such a trash
I'll
fan.
let people see it first.
I'm the
So,
worst.
Isn't it? Yes! Yes!
It's so surreal seeing all this though.
Oh! Are you joking me?
Yeah, so I'm doing a video right now about like the rise and fall of Dokkan content, and how much it has changed. And I would honestly even say like plateaued since it first kind of got popular on YouTube around like 2015, 2016 to like the 2019 sort of era. And I wanted to ask you, because you were one of the older Dokkan YouTubers around the time. You were putting out a lot of content and some really interesting concepts. So
it's funny because like I
will say like I've been talking. I didn't know Alex when he started because that was before my time. But I have been talking to Alex recently, and then I learned that I mean, I'm not on his level because I don't show my face, but he did the kind of thing that I wanted to do when I started my channel. When I started my channel, I had a lot more time. I would make a video like every other day, but I would go above and beyond, and I would like do voice skits. I would like do impressions of various scenes from movies. I would make trailers. I did all this cool creative stuff, and then I realized that he did that same thing, but like on a level beyond that. That was like the kind of thing that I wanted to do. This dude's an OG for sure. I thought that was you. If I looked like this, I would not be afraid to show my face, bro. That's not me. Okay, that's not me. Who inspired me to play Dokkan? I mean, I wasn't really inspired. It generated curiosity watching Scott Herman play Dokkan on his gaming channel. That's how I sort of got into it.
Universe 7, I believe it was. That's mainly what I was doing, and I was aware of these people, but I always had an interest in making content to begin with. So, you know, there was this focus on just Dragon Ball, right? It wasn't entirely on Dokkan. It was, you know, Dragon Ball Super. It was maybe Raging Blast videos.
I, as a creator, have a lot of respect for somebody like Alex. It's rare to see somebody, especially nowadays, who's put as much love and effort into the content that they made. And I don't think I'm alone in saying that Alex's content brings you back to when Dokkan Battle was a fresh game and making content was a lot more fun and engaging. Yeah, I think taking a look at the entire timeline of like every single bit of Dokkan YouTube, you can learn something from like most of them. Like I said, I always say, I think the Gaming Claw's content was way ahead of its time. Like if his content was out,
yes,
like,
he was great. He was incredible. 100%. The title is, it eludes me, but he did something. It was like a super showcase or super breakdown or something like that. An AGL Super Vegito. Like I would maybe recommend looking at.
Where's Phase Tune?
Like he was
dude, I don't compare to the OGs of Dokkan. I don't compare, man. I don't compare. I wish I could have kept that going, but as time went by, I just got busier, and Dokkan is not my full-time thing, so I'm not able to give it the sort of creative care that I used to. I wish I could, but nah. Dokkan battle. Yeah. Scott, I think, would be an OG. He didn't cover Dokkan like these guys did, so he's not an OG in that respect, but he definitely started when the game came out.
I was like, this is one of the better videos we've seen made in this
See, this
space.
is what I'm saying. Look at that.
And
look at what he's doing.
I don't know if it ever ended up coming back for him or not, but it didn't do well upon release. And I was so sad because like, this is such a damn good video. This deserves so many more views than it got.
I know exactly the video you're talking about. It's the one where he was covering AGL
Super Vegito. Yes.
Yep.
It was creative, informative.
I think it's important to note that obviously, like, you are considered one of the older Dokkan Battle YouTubers. People who, like, I think I see a Dokkan Battle YouTuber like Diddy Sauce, and I kind of see the gaming claw in some of the content that Diddy Sauce posts. Like, you were, at least to me, very well known for like the type of content that you did. You would implement skits, you would put on a character, and that character would be, you know, what made your content super entertaining. How does it feel to know that there are people in the community now who can look at your content and the stuff that you've done and be like, you know what, I really like this. This is super cool. I want to improve on this idea and push out content of my own.
One of the, I think that he probably Diddy specifically, he does the randomizer videos, right?
He's the wheel
and I think
guy.
Back in the day, I used to call them the roulette wheel or something like that. So it's a slightly different name, but I think it's a good thing that people can, you know, sort of take ideas.
This is the gaming claw.
Make them their own.
He's an OG Dokkan tuber.
Bet them if that's what, you know, what they want to do. I'm not as big in the community as I used to be, and I would imagine that a lot of the community now probably wouldn't even necessarily recognize me. Maybe some of my older content, but yeah, I mean, obviously the influence is there in some way.
All in all, everything that had happened when it came to Dokkan Battle in 2016 was almost perfect. Creators were having fun and collaborating. Skits were being made and put into videos, and newer creators were allowed time in the spotlight as well. And following that,
I kind of get
a
where
new
he is.
era for Dokkan Battle content would begin. One in which many creators think is the beginning of its plateau on YouTube.
I can kind of understand. Okay, so yeah, the title is very much you're playing the algorithm, right? But I kind of understand the approach because that element of freshness really permeates in the first couple years of a game's life cycle, right? And then if a game continues to last for a decade, things might start to feel a little bit less interesting or unique. So I kind of get that. I mean, I would say Dokkan is in its best place now in terms of just like overall and updates and all that, but I get it. I get it. This man out here doing, oh my God. Okay. Bro's going CoffeeZilla out here. Oni? Onizilla. I love it. I love it. See, that's what I'm saying, man. This is who we needed in the community. We needed someone like this. Oni rose to the occasion. Look at these establishing shots. Coffee. That's this guy's leveled up. You realize how old Dragon Ball is? Yeah. Taking care of us for generations.
This sucks.
He really loves the game. Like I watch a lot of his Dokkan Battle videos, and it shows how much passion he has for the game, knowing units, knowing teams, and calling people stupid for calling, you know, thinking Vegito Blue was actually a good unit. He's sus unit, but anywho.
Hey man, you just gotta use him right.
He loves it, and he
Give him a
shows.
chance.
Yeah, I think his interaction with the community definitely like amplified.
I think the most amount of Dokkan content creation influence that's like made my content structure has come from Truth. There's been some influence from Goresh, Tiger, even Scott Herman and Havohai. But yeah, now after 5 years of Dokkan, Truth's influence has definitely had the most, has manifested the most in my content.
So I have Truth with me, probably one of the biggest, well, actually the biggest Dokkan Battle YouTuber known today. Truth.
I also have one of the higher sub counts.
I see Josh is an OG, yeah.
Wait, it was a weight joke.
Animated muscle. Yep.
Yeah, I was laughing about that. Yeah.
Omega Pro apparently.
Chat, he's a little slow today, I guess. I don't know.
It's 4 a.m. Do you think that you would agree if I said that people will take a look at your channel and they see like how successful you've become doing what you do on YouTube?
Okay. Would people like look at that? Yes. I mean, people would look at me and think like that is kind of like a recipe for success, or like how to kind of like grow or something like that, for sure.
Truth is an anomaly to me because once he entered the Dokkan Battle community, it seemed like he flipped it on its head. This humble and energetic personality took what made Dokkan Battle content good and made it feel fresh and new again. While Dokkan races and summon collabs were commonplace on Truth's channel when he first got his foot in the door in the Dokkan Battle community, there's no doubt that Truth plays a massive part in how Dokkan Battle content is constructed today.
So what you
Amen to
could
that.
say is maybe nowadays it's less personality driven by a lot of creators, right? Like it's back then it's races and summon collabs. and
That's
stuff
actually
like
true,
that.
huh?
It's
The
like-
I guess the creative element when it comes to approaching Dokkan content creation has been a little bit more streamlined because of the machine that Truth has sort of created with all of his like encyclopedic coverage of the game. When a new unit comes out, how many showcase videos drop within hours of the banners releasing, right? Everyone is dropping 55%. Everyone is dropping Rainbow Max Links. Everyone is dropping top grossing. You know, like it's a machine at this point. I can kind of see that. I wasn't around for the OG days, but if it was like really more about the collaborative stuff, the more gimmicky, quirky videos, then yeah, it's definitely a cultural shift now. Truth, it's your fault. You ruined it.
I know. Like I came on the scene and it's like, I don't know, before I started like Rainbow and everything, I don't like people weren't really doing that, right? Like it's like all the videos back then was like, you know, they'd be doing single summon videos.
Yeah.
And then I just started I kind of just went all the way, and then now that's kind of like the standard is like Rainbow.
Dokkan was 100% more personality back in the day. This is kind of why, like, when I started, I was high. Like, you can see in my videos, I'm just very high. I sound ridiculous. Over time, when I was starting to kind of understand the flow of YouTube a little bit, I started to realize that I kind of felt the same way. Oh, okay. This is just the same monotonous approach that I'm seeing a lot of channels do. Let's change it up a little bit. And so one of the reasons why I'm the way that I am now is really just because like I wanted to infuse some more life into my content besides just doing the videos, right? Okay, that sounded really bad. I wasn't actually high. I meant I sounded high. All right, I sounded high. Like if you watch my first video, go listen to that. It's like I OD'd on Ambien, and now listen to me now. It's night and day difference. And the reason for that is because I wanted to give a little bit more life into the content in terms of delivery, in terms of personality, because I thought at least if I, you know, am a little bit more energetic or a little bit more psychotic or manic, it might be a little bit more entertaining. And then it sort of evolved into this new Toon Rami the idiot kind of approach, which I like it. I think no other channel, I don't think, leans into that side of things. Like there are, you know, everyone's got their own shtick, but that's kind of like where I wanted to start from. And then I did the voices and stuff like that. That's kind of why I did it that way. But yeah, go, if you want to hear baseline starting out tune, just go watch my first video, man. I sound so incredibly high. It's crazy.
Rainbows and stuff like that. So like I mean, I guess you could probably point at me for kind of the path it's taken, but
Truth put a big emphasis on rainbowing characters, beginning to spend
You sold me with your
thousands of stones
outro?
on banners to be able to do so. Despite some videos already being a thing in the community, it wasn't
thanks,
common for a creator to go until a unit was rainbowed on a banner. This sparked a lot of interest in Truth's content, as it became increasingly more common to look at a rainbow character on his channel. While general interest in races and summons still remained, content started to shift.
I appreciate that, Druku. I think it's just how explosive and direct Truth is with his approach and showcases, etc. What really separated him from others and why so many cling to him 90% of the time. Truth is right. I mean, yeah, he has a good understanding of the game. He's got machine level output in terms of content. He's got a mastery over the game that like not many other creators can say, right? So yeah.
He would upload multiple videos a day. Even if it was the smallest update, you could expect Truth to make a video on it. And while Truth wasn't the only Dokkan Battle YouTuber
I started
to make
doing
this
that
kind
because of Truth.
content, are one of the fastest to be able to push out the videos. That is, of course, if we forget that private servers existed even then. Private servers have been a point of contention within the Dokkan Battle community forever now.
I talk to Truth about this all the time, but like he did shake up the community probably more than any other creator, I think. I think that's like a substantial way to say that, because at least for me and a lot of the content that I made, I had to adapt to him being there. It's sort of like an adaptation to things. And so with the private servers, I mean, yeah, that definitely killed like Dino's interest, because why would you want to have to summon for a character that then use them on your channel when someone else just got through using them 4 days ago for free, way faster, and now everyone's already seen what they were interested in before. Like we very clearly saw like a decrease in our views when private servers got more popularized.
That's exactly it. I don't particularly care if anybody uses private servers. It doesn't affect me in terms of my gameplay. However, I understand that perspective. I'm not trying to like poo-poo anybody using the private servers, but when it comes to like an overall outlook on content creation, why would you care about anyone's videos on a Rainbow Showcase when you can just watch it 5 days earlier? One of the reasons why I wanted to try to inject some toon clumsiness, you know, that energy into my videos and some voices, because a private server video can't emulate that.
In an era of Dokkan Battle content where showcases are very popular, having access to a private server helped channels out immensely, as typically you were able to get content out a lot faster than somebody who didn't. This is where content creators like DBZ World or Dokkan World, as you guys know them today, had a massive opportunity to shine. Mixed in with zero commentary, people who specifically wanted to see characters at their best had a channel to go to, one that provided viewers with an early access showcase of new characters at the time. With the introduction of private server content to YouTube, it added a new layer of competition to the scene. And while competition usually isn't a bad thing, it ended up being almost detrimental to Dokkan Battle YouTube at the time. While
it is harder for content creators to really get going on content now because of that. I've seen a lot of smaller creators talk about how it's very difficult to make moves in the Dokkan community to, you know, set themselves apart. And the private server stuff has a lot to do with it because there's no intrigue, right? Those who are able to garner an audience at this point when it comes to showcases is probably, the majority is because of the following that are there for the creator. But for up and coming content creators who are trying to make, you know, to make a name for themselves, getting themselves out there, it's going to be harder to do it because now, besides the other creators that are doing the same thing, you've also got the machines, right? The machine that is the private server producing, you know, mitigating all of the intrigue minute 1, hour 1 of a unit's release, which definitely impacts the overall vibe of the community approaching a new unit. It sucks. I felt it. I mean, I'm not a full-time creator, so I guess it was never like as big of an issue, but I definitely have felt the impact.
Throughout the existence of private servers, Rhymestyle seemed to get more and more unenthused about
the OGs helped rise Dokkan, but Truth made it run. Yeah.
2021. And for a while, things were looking grim for Dokkan Battle YouTube. That is, until just a year later, with the introduction of a new YouTuber under the name of Diddy Sauce. While Diddy Sauce had been streaming Dokkan Battle content for years at this point,
that's what I've been saying.
Established content creators in the scene pushing him to make
best
a channel.
Dokkan streamer.
Eventually, in early 2022, he did, providing a new spin on how Dokkan Battle content was formatted.
What are your opinions on what it is today compared to what it used to be? Do you think it's like worse? Do you think it's better? Or maybe you just don't really have any thoughts on it at all?
No, I definitely have thoughts on it. I think that it is better in some aspects and worse in others.
Private servers made the people trying to sell their accounts so insanely mad. Oh, I guess, yeah, huh? Why would I buy your account when I can just get all that for free? Yup.
I think also it's part of the game too, because I think that there is high interest in the things that are actually interesting and the lowest of interest we've ever seen in the things that aren't interesting, right? Like some of the aspect of it is the game itself, right? And I see Truth say this all the time, but I also think it's also part of the fact that the game is just getting old. And so like, there's just going to be a lack of interest across the board sometimes because
we were just talking about it earlier. Top grossing. We haven't had a top grossing in a little while. So like, I mean, it's not all private servers. There is just wear and tear from the game existing for 10 years.
Okay. When you say current climate, because I'm not one of these kids who go, oh, back in 2017, 500 years ago, the game was so good. Like, the game was terrible. Everything was way worse back then. It's just now people have played the game for 8 years, 9 years. You know, that is what it is. They're burned out. They're tired. It's like now it's more of like an archaic game compared to some new gotchas. It's just more stuff like that. It's just Dokkan has been around forever. That's all it is.
I know like the Truth Nano and Toon do like the randomizers and whatnot, but I think just because we had to make something out of whatnot, like the Truth Nano and Toon do like the randomizers and whatnot.
Oh, shout out from Riku. I don't do randomizers as much as Mr. Did Sauce. I think that's who he's probably referring to, but I have done a couple. Randomizers. That's my moment of fame right there, though. Toon reference. Let's go.
But I think
I want to hear it one more time from my boy Riku.
Like, I know like the Truth Nano and Toon do like the randomizers and whatnot, But I think just because we had to make something out of nothing back then, it was definitely different.
Surprise, surprise. Some of the most well-known content creators in the Dokkan Battle community space find content on the game to be quite stale at the moment. But that doesn't mean it has to be forever. While this entire video has been me comparing Dokkan Battle content now to 2016, that doesn't necessarily mean I wanted to go back to that time, but it has made me sad to see its plateau throughout the years.
Oh,
there are so many
look at
creators
that.
out
Look
there,
at that
big
multiple
and
camera
small,
shots.
with plenty of ideas plateau throughout the years. There are so many creators
I
out
love it,
there,
Oni.
big and small, with plenty of ideas and creativity that they can bring to this community, and some have already put that vision in motion.
Go look outside of the gaming space and see what people are doing for videos, right? That are doing really well. Like, this is super random, but is there a way that you could apply a Ryan Trahan formula?
That's
to
what I did.
Dokkan? You know, like,
That's
I know that
what
sounds
I
crazy,
did.
But like, if you have the will and you want to try to break onto the scene, maybe you can.
I'm not trying to show off here. I just want to, I want to say some stuff. What Nano's saying here is facts. You guys have seen I do this thing with Goresh now, right? It's not that this has made me blow up or anything, but the thing that I do with Goresh, guess that Dokkan unit, it's kind of an evolution on what I already started doing before with the full-on videos, but it was actually because of my buddy Steven Z Killer. He showed me a Pokemon channel from a guy named Vintendo, and I got that idea from him, and I brought that over, and I basically streamlined the 20 questions that I do on regular videos, turned it into shorts, and that's how it sort of adapted into that series. So yeah, taking elements from other channels, other videos that are working, it does translate if you do it right.
Can find a way.
I would imagine that there would be YouTubers who might be inspired, like they would see maybe not even my content anymore, right? But maybe they see Mass Thingun or Toon Rami or something. Toon Rami's very fun, a lot of personality, does his kind of his voice acting and stuff like that in these videos.
Oh, truth. Oh, this guy. I got another Toon shout out.
Anymore. There would be YouTubers who might be inspired, like they would see maybe not even my content anymore, right? But maybe they see Mass Thingun or Toon Rami or something. Toon Rami's very fun, a lot of personality, does his kind of his voice acting and stuff like that in these videos. So I could see Toon Rami being direct inspiration for many new YouTubers coming up. And I mean, I would say, if that's how you get your foot in the door for YouTube, sure, but you can branch out. But follow most what you're having fun. Because if you're just going to try and do Dokkan...
I don't think... there's a lot of names that are just not... that have not been mentioned. But it's not out of... if I'm understanding what you're saying. It's not out of a disrespect or anything. This is just... I mean, I'm not involved in the video. I wasn't a part of the video. But I'm not taking offense. This is just... they're just having a discussion about the old times of Dokkan. How Dokkan is now. I don't think it's anything more than that. There's a lot of names not here. I still haven't seen Animated Muscle. I was kind of expecting Animated Muscle. Maybe I'm just not familiar with how things were before my time, but I thought he would have been in here. It's just, people were available,
to try and, get to a big growth
Yeah, I'm
level,
tearing up right now.
but you're
Truth
not
said
having
my
fun.
name.
It's just not going to work. You're eventually just going to crash out, is what happens.
So much of your validation is just going to come from the numbers, and it can be discouraging. But if you try to enjoy the content that you are putting out instead of focusing on how well it performs.
Oh, yeah, I didn't get that. Druku. I've never seen Team 4-Star. My bad. Then
I think you will have an easier time creating a solid foundation that isn't entirely reliant on the validation from the figures that you are going to see. My suggestion is just to try and not look at the numbers. Literally do not look at the numbers. And, just upload content that you enjoy uploading. And, if you get that lucky break, then, just ride the wave.
With that said, thank you guys all for watching. It really means the world to me if even one person stayed this far into the video. I hope you guys enjoyed. Please, if you're new here, like and subscribe.
This is a nice video.
I do content, so there will be more of this in the future. Unless you guys think it's crap, then probably not. A massive thank you to the people who helped with the interviews in this video, helped me get into contact with creators I originally would never have had the chance to talk to. It genuinely meant a lot, and I hope it elevated this video to new heights. Thank you all. I love this community. I love making videos like this. So like and subscribe, and I'll see you all in the next one.
Make a video about how Truth and Goresh bully me. I want you to cancel them. Make that next. Document every time that Goresh and Truth have been mean to me and bullied me. And then, yeah, expose video. Do that next. That was a nice video, man. That was a really well done video. Also, seriously, nice touch on the cinematography, the establishing shots of the coffee. This dude's leveled up. I was just watching, dude, your drama video from like 2 months ago, and now we're here, and you could submit this film to Cannes, dude. The glow up is crazy. That's a good video. We like that.